Let's be honest, we all have to present at some point, right? Whether it's pitching a big idea at work, defending a thesis, or even just giving a toast at a wedding. And for a lot of us, the goal is just to get through it. But what if you could actually be great at it? What if you could present like a pro? Well, that's exactly what we're going to break down today.
So, what is it? What's that secret ingredient that makes the difference between a presentation that people forget the second they walk out the door and one that really lands? One that actually persuades people. It's not magic, I promise. It's a series of really practical steps that anyone, and I mean anyone, can get the hang of.
At its very core, a presentation is just a structured way of communicating. And that word, structured, is the key to the whole thing. It's not just rambling or talking off the cuff. It's a thought out, organized way of getting your message across. And this skill pops up everywhere. You'll use it in academic settings, sharing your research. You'll use it in professional environments, giving project updates. You'll even use it at public speaking events, trying to get a crowd fired up. Seriously, getting good at this is like a superpower for your career and your life. All right, first up, let's get into crafting your message. Think of this part as the blueprint for a house. It's the foundation. If you get this part right, everything else becomes so much easier. That's so true. The most critical work you're going to do happens way before you're ever in front of an audience. The preparation, it isn't just a part of the process. In a lot of ways, it is the process. So where do you even begin? You start with your audience. This is absolutely non-negotiable. Don't just think about who they are. Think about what they need from you. What are they hoping to get out of this? If you can tailor your message to answer their questions and solve their problems, you're already halfway to a win. Every great story has a beginning, a middle, and an end. And a great presentation is no different. You want to start with a clear intro that tells people where you're going. Then you build your case in the middle with logical sections. And finally, you land the plane with a really strong conclusion that sums it all up. It works. Oh man, we have all sat through a presentation where the slide is just a giant wall of text, right? Let's make a pact right now to not be that person. The rule of thumb is super simple. One big idea per slide. That's it. Use visuals to make things clearer, not more confusing. And hey, if you've got complicated data, a simple chart can do the work of a whole paragraph. And this brings us to what might be the golden rule of presenting. Your slides are like your backup singers. They're important, they add a lot to the performance, but you are the star of the show. People came to hear from you, not to read your PowerPoint. Okay, so you've got your blueprint, you've crafted your message, now it's time to actually build the thing. And that brings us to our second section, the power of practice. This is where you take that solid plan and you turn it into a truly polished performance. Look, practice is not about memorizing your script word for word. It's about getting so comfortable with the material that it just flows naturally. It's about making sure you can fit everything into your allotted time without rushing. And maybe most importantly, it's about rehearsing in front of a friend or a colleague to get some honest feedback. They'll catch things you never would. And please, I am begging you, do a tech check. Nothing, and I mean nothing, kills your momentum like a projector that won't work or a mic that's cutting out. Test it all beforehand. And always, always have a backup plan. A PDF of your slides on a USB stick can be a total lifesaver. All right, deep breath. You've planned, you've practiced. Now it's showtime. Our third and final section is all about owning the room, delivering that message with all the confidence it deserves. So, the day is here. All that hard work, all that prep, it all comes down to this moment. Your delivery is the final piece of the puzzle that brings it all to life. Okay, first things first. Nerves are totally normal. In fact, they're good. It just means you care. The quickest way to get them under control, your breath. Seriously, just a few slow, deep breaths before you go on can make a world of difference. Next, get comfortable in your space. Walk around the stage a little bit, get a feel for the podium, see where the screen is. The more you can make that unfamiliar environment feel a little more familiar, the more in control you're going to feel. And finally, a little mind trick. Instead of picturing all the things that could go wrong, spend a few seconds vividly imagining it going right. See yourself being confident, clear, and connecting with the audience. It sounds a little cheesy, but your brain can have a hard time telling the difference between a vivid visualization and the real thing. So now that you're feeling a bit more centered, it's time to connect. Actually look at the people in the audience. Speak with a clear, confident voice. Maybe ask a question or take a quick poll. The goal here is to turn what could be a boring monologue into an interesting conversation. And when you get to the Q&A, this is your chance to really build trust. Make sure you listen to the entire question before you jump in. And hey, if you don't know the answer, that is perfectly okay. Saying, that's a great question. I don't have the answer right now, but I will find out and get back to you, builds way more credibility than just making something up. People remember beginnings and endings, so you've got to finish strong. Just quickly recap your main points. Give them a clear call to action or a final thought to chew on. And always, always thank them for their time and attention. It's simple, it's classy, and it's super effective. So there you have it. From crafting that initial message to owning the room on the big day, this isn't some innate talent. It is a skill. And just like any other skill, the more you practice, the better you'll get. So take these ideas, prepare, practice, and for your next presentation, you've got this. Good luck.